All right. So,
If it's fine.
welcome, guys, to my channel. My name is Jose Duarte, and today we have a special guest, Sergeant Gurrola.
Yep.
And if you guys didn't know, he's actually pretty famous. He came out on YouTube before. This is not his first time.
Yeah, actually, it's very true. And when I went to boot camp, uh, I found out that I later became YouTube famous. Because the Black Friday video that the platoon that I was in was posted. So the only other time I was in YouTube was in that video. So I am pretty famous, I guess. That people recognize me, but not many people do.
People really recognize you, though?
Just people that know me.
Oh, okay. Well, then, if you could tell us, like, a little bit, like, did you actually see people recording you? Or
Yeah, I remember.
did
Yeah,
they say, like, oh, we're going to come in and record you guys, just pretend that we're not here? Was it like that?
not at all the second part.
Okay.
It's a whole different world as a recruit. Like they don't care anything about you. But I remember that day specifically really well because that was a really personally that I really enjoyed that day. I really had a lot of fun. But it was like all the recruits I guess at the time were all in line, all against their racks, their beds, and then a drill instructor started doing their spiel, and then you'd see guest Marines like with their hats coming inside from this main entrance of the building,
Mm.
and then we had a little camera, a little handheld camera like the old ones,
Yeah.
and they started recording us like for a weird reason. Like I knew they were doing something, I didn't know they were gonna be putting it on YouTube. I thought they were just recording for their own like keepsake, like for drill instructor school for something, because that's what they do a lot. Because a lot of
Oh.
the guests that come in are for drill instructor schools or something
Oh.
like that. So
Okay.
that's what my head when I saw the guests there. Okay, I knew that they're not a part of this. The drill instructors and us are a part of. They're just guests to see us because we've always been told that um, MCRD San Diego has always been like Hollywood. There's always cameras around. And that's
Mm.
where I had that idea.
Okay.
There's people there. Okay, just ignore them because they're not a part of it. They're just guests watching us. So I just ignored them. But yeah,
And they
just
were there the whole time you were in boot camp, pretty
not
much.
not the entire time. Just
Oh
every
no.
once in a while they were.
Oh, okay. Or did they go with you for at Camp Pendleton as well? Like, did they
No,
follow you guys?
not
No.
Camp Pendleton. They didn't do that over there.
Oh,
Just in
okay.
MCRD San Diego.
Oh, okay. Yeah, cause when you go to boot camp, um, they kind of record you to record like the crucible, just to see like you guys suffering pretty much. I don't know. Did they do that to you guys?
Yeah, they did see several people in the boot camp. I mean, Crucible for sure, but it wasn't really like as in our way as the first days in boot camp was. We did see them. They're just like
Mm.
just random people just taking pictures of us. It looked
Oh,
like,
okay.
but it wasn't really like oh shit, just watch out for them. They're in the way, but just don't mind them. These people in the Crucible, they were there, but we didn't pay attention because we're too focused on our suffering and
Yeah.
focusing on getting the next steps going.
Okay. All right. So this is something like what I usually ask my guests. So let's do like before boot camp. Like, what made you choose the Marine Corps?
Well, for me, I feel like it was all like a development of how I grew up, but in the same time of my family members because my uncle was a prior Marine as well,
Mm.
uh, and he did the Marine Corps and retired out of 20 years. And my dad, he'd always told me that he always wanted to be a Marine too. And what got me going is um, a start at least is a program called Devil Pups. My dad always talked about it that he'd always wanted to go.
Mm.
He tried to get his brother to get him to sign up, but he just never ended up doing it for him. But I guess as my dad fulfilling a goal for himself for me, he put me in that group in
Oh
that
yeah.
little program. It was like a little 10-day boot camp experience for youths
Oh
from
dang.
ages like 14 to 17.
Okay.
So from that point on, I feel like the mentality of being a Marine probably was in me, even though I wasn't really actively thinking I want to be a Marine, but it was always in my head. Yeah.
Well, your dad pretty much like baptized you in that mentality.
In a way, yes. Yes. In a
Well,
way, yes, it did.
that's nice. Is that program still alive right now, or
Yep, it's
it's
still
still,
there.
yeah?
It's all for the Southern California or
Oh,
SoCal.
okay.
Yeah.
And then well, your dad was pretty much always uh positive, like of you joining and everything else.
He
Well,
absolutely
how
is.
was your how did your mom feel?
I got very little words about my mom. She really didn't have a say.
Mm,
It's like she trusted what I was doing and she went with it. Like I'm sure she was worried as a mother, but she didn't really step in the way to don't do it or do it. Go ahead, but she just
okay.
like let me do it.
Yeah, because if like most people, their parents, especially moms, they're always like overprotective. They're always trying to like tell you not to join, and that's how my mom was.
Mm.
Like she was always telling me not to, and she did. She talked me out of it, and then like what, 10 years later, I I still joined. You know, like that thought of joining always was always in me. I always talked to my family members of joining and being in the military, but you know, like I didn't want to be that person to say, "Hey, like I almost joined the Marine Corps and I almost did it." You know, like screw that. I don't want to live with regrets. And then so how was the delayed entry program? Did you guys do it?
Yeah.
And you were probably like, cause if you guys don't know, he got the Iron Man in his boot camp, right?
I did.
So you're pretty fit.
At the time, and I would say pretty much kind of right now I am.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you still are. So like, were you like the top person in your delayed entry program?
Yeah, yeah, I can say I was. I
Uh-huh.
was. When I first started, obviously I wasn't. The first 6 months, I was there for an entire year. My Dell entry program,
Damn.
I didn't get shipped out like many people did, like right away after three
Yeah.
months. I could have, but I wanted to be a military police. So they told me you have to wait a year though. Like, okay, that's fine. I'll wait a year. But
Mm.
because I was there for so long, constantly going to workouts every twice a week, um, yeah, it got really strong, got really a lot faster than what I was, and by the time I was leaving, um, I supersede the previous top fit guy. I feel like, in my opinion, because he was a great fitness stud. He was able to do a lot of push-ups, a lot of workouts, lift a lot with so many reps. But he did have a downfall, which was running, which that wasn't my problem. So
Mhm.
by the time it was my turn to leave, I was probably around the same, at least almost close to him, because I always felt he was better than me, but I was still a lot faster than him at that point. So I was, yeah, I was at top.
So running is like your thing then, pretty much.
Yeah.
Wait, did you do sports in school or
Uh,
anything?
yeah. So having that mentality of being a military from Del Pups, it stuck into my head because it always worked to something, always wanting to get the score to beat. Like in Del Pups, I remember they had to do like uh 80 push-ups in 2 minutes and like some I don't remember the rest. In a 6 minute mile. I remember that. And I always wanted to do to everything I got practically except the mile. I never got the 6 minute mile.
Damn.
And until well later on I did.
Mhm.
But the working up to it, I had the mentality of trying to get to that score and meeting it. So in high school, after in my freshman year, I did um uh I did cross country because my PE teacher said you're a really good runner, you should probably do it. So I did it, and then I did basketball because there was a lot of sprinting,
Mhm.
and then I did track and field, the 800 and the mile, 800 and the mile, 800 is 2 laps, and then the mile
Yeah.
4 laps. Yeah, I did that, those two. So the first year in high school, I did a lot of running. So I feel like that's what like stunned my body to have the runner mentality muscles in my DNA, I
You never
guess.
did soccer?
No, I never did soccer in high
You look
school.
like a soccer person.
I did that in elementary, but I never did it in
Oh.
high school or above.
At first, when I first saw you, I was like, "Oh, he's just a soccer guy."
Mm. Yeah, because a lot of those guys are runners. They are.
Yeah, they are. And then, so let's go to first day of boot camp. How did you feel?
Excited. Wait, depends actually. Which part of first day? Like the first day and
Yeah,
like
the yellow footprints.
oh, yellow footprints. Yeah, I would say I was nervous to see because I didn't know what to expect. I mean, kind of did because I saw a whole lot of videos trying to get my mentality of understanding how it's gonna be the first couple of moments. Like I was living. I don't want to say the dream, but I was living the real life version of the video that I
Yeah.
watched so many times. Like getting to the veil footprints, them yelling us out, staring at some red board with yellow letters and saying it out probably on top of our lungs, going into the red bins, taking all our stuff, everything. I was like living that video like so long. So it was kind of exciting and nervous in the same time, a little bit of both.
Well, what year did you join?
Year
Yeah.
2016. Well, I signed up in 2015. I was still in high school in May
Oh,
or March, and then I got sent in March of 2016.
2016. So there's a couple of videos out there of like boot camp and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you're there, well, I mean, the drill instructors that you guys got, like, they're really scary. Because I saw the video, and compared to how it is now, I mean, they are still scary, but like, you guys got like it was like the time where the Marine Corps was like, the Marine Corps, they didn't care. Because like when I went, you know, when you do your phone call,
Yeah.
yeah, like, they don't yell at you no more as I do in the video.
Wow. That's pretty
Yeah.
shocking, actually.
So when I went, like, they actually let you talk. They're still serious. They're still there looking at you, and like you have to read like the words on the wall, but they're not yelling at you.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I guess I was at the last peak of the Marine Corps that we had.
Yeah, that's what I get a lot. Like one of my homies that he went to the Marine Corps. He's like, yeah, that you guys went through not that bad. It wasn't that bad when you guys went through. And then so once you go, I mean, you guys could watch his YouTube or like the video that he went through. Once you start boot camp, um, what's like the hardest thing that you think happened or like was hard for you?
Um, the hardest part within the world of the boot camp
Mm-hmm.
was probably being a leader within the boot camp. I did have the idea of get the squad leader position once you get in there, but after that point, like I didn't know what else to do. I didn't know that you had to take care of people. I mean, they told me that, but I just didn't do it. That was the hardest part because
Yeah.
people get promoted and depromoted. So like I remember
Mm-hmm.
I put myself as a squad leader. I didn't want to put myself as the guy. No, it was too much. But I put myself as a squad leader, making sure I was first and everything. But then after like a month, they had me take care of the entire a section of Marines or I guess recruits, and I just didn't. I wasn't that type of person. I just neglected it. Like, how am I supposed to do all that in a certain amount of time? Like, I didn't know how to proportion my time,
Mm-hmm.
and they ended up firing me because I didn't know how to do it. Yeah, but
Well, at the same time, like, boot camp is meant for you to be like confused and have like all of that, like, I guess you could say chaos.
mm-hmm.
So like if you get fired, then you get fired. It's not that bad. But at the same time, like, you did you guys promote to PFC just by holding a billet?
Yes, they did. Yes.
Yeah, so did us. And then I guess what could you say was the funnest part?
Easily for me, it was Black Friday.
Black Friday.
Yeah, like the one that you see in my video, the one that you see me. Yeah, that was the best day of my life. I continually say that for the rest of my life.
Why you say that?
I hated the first week. The first week was just
Oh
about
yeah.
paperwork, staying up, waking up really early just to sit down in chairs to go get poked by needles. I hated needles. I absolutely hated the needles.
And you can't even sleep.
No. So they stay awake.
Yeah.
But I hated that week. Absolutely. I just wanted to get started with training
Yeah,
already.
you just want to get started
And
training.
then they put us in our squad battles. You're going to get drill instructors. Like, we are? Like, we got online. And then drill instructors came, look, holy shit. And then they started yelling. It's like, finally, this is the best day of my life. I was excited to get started. Yeah. I
Hell
really,
yeah.
really enjoyed that day for sure. And then I guess the second day is a rumor they had Brown Saturday. They had,
Brown Saturday?
that was the first day you get to Camp Hilton.
Okay.
They just roll you around in a lot of dirt, kick you with dirt. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, they do
for
it to
me,
us too.
it was just the Black Friday. That was the best one.
Okay. Well, you guys hear it? And then so you went for MP, right?
Yeah.
So you do go to MCT.
Yeah.
After that, and then after MCT, you go to Fort Leonard Wood.
Yeah, they sent me to Fort Leonard Wood.
And then how was training for MP?
Well, not as much as I expect. I always felt like they could have done more, but it was a little bit of two different sides. It was like the patrolling side of what you would think a military police would be, and then a field portion of the side at the time. They don't do that anymore. They already disbanded it like in 2020, but at the time they were doing that. They taught us all about like the laws, all how to do handcuffs, the self-defense, all that stuff. Regular cop little stuff duties. Even they did OC spray. They had all of us got OC sprayed and did a course, and
Damn.
yeah, that's pretty rough actually. I remember it felt like a fire in my face. I remember comparing it like having hot water, and when you take a shower, having hot water on your face. It was like exactly like that.
Oh, dang.
I remember the pain was not anything different when I first did that. But yeah, we did that the first like month and a half or so, a little bit further. We did squad cars. We did a mock, uh, like teams of
Like bad people.
patrols. I'd say
Oh,
patrol
okay.
sections. Like this team goes out first, and they take over, and then this one takes over their patrol team. It's like their own. Like how you see cops. The cops are out there not going to work all the time.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to have people to change them over.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they had us do.
Okay.
And then the second half was the field portion. It was all about, like, I guess infantry stuff in a way, but with the cop mentality aspect into it.
How long is the training?
About 3 months.
3 months.
Yeah.
Oh, same. Almost the same as Mortar T.
Yeah.
Well, you went through the Mortar T one too, right?
No.
Oh, you did it?
Not Morty.
Oh, okay. So after that, because you did tell me you were stationed in Oki, did you choose to go there, or were you just voluntold?
Yeah, I was voluntold, and everyone that I told and that noticed I got orders to Okinawa, they were all shocked. Everyone told me like, did you ask to go over there? No, it just happened to pull up on my Marines Online page. Like, I'm getting orders to Okinawa. Like, it was a shock to everybody, and it was a shock to me. So I did not.
Well, what did you first choose?
I didn't choose anything.
Oh, you didn't?
I never had an option. I never chose where to go or anything. Even in my training, they gave us an option. Like, you want to choose? Let us know. Like, I didn't choose. I just went with it. Like, I don't care where I go.
Okay.
I don't care.
Were you able to choose, or
I think you were able to, but I feel like
whatever the Marine Corps wanted?
Yeah, whatever Marine Corps wants.
Oh, okay.
They're not gonna tell you.
So once you get your orders, what did you think? Like, damn, I'm going overseas.
Yeah, going overseas was a big deal for sure. Where I was first stationed was MCR San Diego from my first year. And I immediately went to thinking, just like how I tried to figure out how boot camp was, I was trying to figure out how Okinawa was. So I started asking people that I knew that came from Okinawa, asking them how it was, and just got a whole lot of notes that I actually still have in my phone.
Oh, okay.
Like a lot of notes, like a big chunk of notes in my phone, like where to do, how to get around, everything. So I just prepped for it at that point. I didn't look back. I wasn't in denial. I wasn't sad. I just all right. I'm going to Okinawa. Let's go.
Let's go. How was your first day there?
First day was, I'd say, a little confusing because a little bit of unknown. Like, you're going into something you have no idea. Like it's like starting your profile for Grand Theft Auto. Go into your little section of the map. You only see that portion of the map, but you can see like the rest of it is huge and it's big. And
but it's all blanked out.
That's how it was for me.
Okay.
Going into Okinawa, like, okay, I'm in the airport. What next? I'll walk around and see what I can find. And I saw a Marine in uniform. Oh, I'll walk to that guy. and it was like a normal thing. Like, it's JRC, Joint Receiving Company.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they expected Marines to come in. They're constantly always there every week. But then they took us in, and we took us to some barracks in a camp, in a base called Camp Foster. And then we just there for the entire week, and with a whole lot of others, see where we're gonna go. Kind of like a dispenser, I guess, a vending machine.
Damn.
Pick us out whatever base.
So, since you were actually there, How is it? Like, tell us a little bit of how Oki is.
Okinawa is a whole nother world for sure. Well, not a whole nother world, but a whole nother country.
Yeah.
It's after leaving and coming back to the United States. It's like you don't wish. You would have thought that the United States was better, but being in Japan, or at least in Okinawa, the island of Okinawa, it's different. It's like better, better in a more in touch, close and personal,
Hmm.
really nice community type of place over there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I've heard like they're more clean.
they are absolutely.
Yeah.
the The roads, there's no trash anywhere.
Exactly.
The island of Okinawa is geared for tsunamis because that's like like Hurricane Valley. They have tsunami zone area right there.
Hmm.
So like, the whole island was geared for tsunami. So like the edges of the roads were like had pavements. It had like a drop off for the water to rush through.
Oh damn.
And you have to recycle your trash. You had to have different bags for each different thing.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Like what?
Well, like the regular uh like food stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and then paper stuff, and then like your cans and your
Plastics.
plastic, and like like your milk cartons, little ones.
Oh yeah.
They have a little cap on them. You have to like take the cap off, wash it, and then like extend the little
Oh
carton.
dang.
You have to do that.
You have to.
Yeah.
What happens if you don't?
They won't take your trash. Actually.
Oh, they
They'll
won't.
leave it there.
Damn.
Yeah, at the because because some people that I knew that had houses out there in town, that's how they do it, and they'd say that they just leave your trash because they saw that you can do that. It's weird, but they're really strict with the recycling and their dispensary stuff over there.
That's nice. I wish they did that here then.
Yeah,
Is the food better over there? Like sushi?
absolutely, because you're an island, all around you just water. Why wouldn't there be?
And it's more fresh, right?
It's fresh that day probably.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, like you think it's like I don't know about so much here in Las Vegas, but maybe it can be like you have like go to like Mexican restaurants, you think you're having tacos. Over there, sushi was their tacos.
Right.
That was their thing. Like everywhere you go, like there's sushi everywhere. That's like practically if not soups.
Or soups?
Yeah,
Like ramen?
yeah, ramen.
Hell
soups.
yeah.
Best ramen over there. Yeah.
And like what is there to do for fun?
Well, being from someone that you've never been, just like go out and explore.
Mm-hmm.
Go out and explore, see something new, see how the people are, see the beaches, see everything, see the city, how people react to you, and how they drive. It's on the opposite side of the road. That's like
Oh, that's
crazy.
true.
Yeah.
It's on the opposite side.
Everything's the opposite side. The steering wheel's on the opposite side. Everything.
Everything?
Yeah,
Wow.
it's crazy. The roads, they have like vending machines of like coffee, soda, random juices, even cigarettes. Like Coca-Cola sponsored vending machines at practically every single corner of the island.
Wow.
Practically every single corner you'd see a vending machine.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. They did that a lot.
Did you go party?
I've never really that. I
into
I
that
wasn't
stuff?
that type of person, so I can't say that I didn't know.
Okay. And then let's start with like your MP experience. How was it like? Well, pretty much explain to us what does MP do in particular. Like what is the MOS of MP? Like what is their job to do? What's their responsibilities?
Well, the responsibilities is like the same as a cop out in town. Is to protect the people that are there. If they're like patrolling, protect the community that's there, or protect the members on the base from people coming in and out of the base. It's just your guard, your security.
Mm-hmm.
In some ways, you're over glorified security guard. But yeah, essentially that's what we do.
And you're
Or
pretty
have to.
much wandering around the base, or you're mostly like in the gates.
It depends on your situation. People roam around the base, or
Mhm.
they just stay at gates, depending on what base you're in.
Mm. What did you do most of the time?
I played the cop life when I was in San Diego. When I went to Okinawa, I didn't do that. They proportioned me in the field half of the MP world.
Okay.
The cop life, I was in San Diego. There, the majority of my time was just gate guard.
Gate guard.
You know.
Well, I did ask you before, like, what's the craziest thing you ever did? But what's the craziest thing that happened in the gate?
The craziest thing that I heard happen at the gate, I wasn't on duty.
Okay.
It was a different rotation. Someone came to the gate with a bag, if not a bag, like a suitcase type of bag, and they just dropped it and ran. There was wires in front of it, and then the gate closed down. The whole entire base closed down. They had to close down the gate because they thought it was a bomb.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the most roughest thing that they had done.
Dang. Did they ever find out like what kind of people were they?
I know some transit.
Oh
It was just some
damn.
transit. They never saw that guy again.
That's crazy, dude.
Yep.
And then, shoot, I can only imagine. You couldn't go out.
No, not at the time, at least. No.
And then, kind of share with us like what you told me about like the craziest stop you ever did.
Wow. It's kind of hard because MCRD San Diego is a really small base, and there's not really many people going in and out of the base. Because the only people that go in and out are drill instructors or drill instructors inside buses with recruits, or people who work for the drill instructors in that world. It's called like a recruit training regiment. It's like people who work around.
Oh yeah.
So it's like, or the accessories of those.
But at least
jobs.
in Oki, it was the craziest stop you did.
I can't tell you that because I wasn't a cop over there.
Oh, okay.
I was doing field MP, but I don't know. Craziest stop? I don't know. It's I can't tell you because I've never been in that many stops.
Well, you did share to me that you pulled over a Chief 1 officer.
Kind of. I can't say pullover because I was at the gate.
Oh, okay.
The majority of the action always came at the gate. Like,
Okay.
As much as I wanted to be in a patrol car because that's what my idea was to be a cop,
Uh-huh.
the most of the action was always at the gate
At the gate?
because they come to you. Their problems or what they're dealing with are coming to you.
Okay.
Our job was to find out what they're doing,
Yeah.
see if they're doing anything wrong, breaking the law. If not, then continue. So yeah, the craziest, I guess, yeah, that would be the craziest portion.
Mm-hmm.
Craziest experience I've ever had. A retired Chief Warrant Officer 5 came into the base. He said he was lost. He was only there for the weekend because of some work event that he was there for, and he had glossy red eyes, and that's indicated for possible being
Under the influence.
with something. So yeah, pulled him over and had him pull off to the side for the other traffic can continue. I got his stuff. I did a field sobriety test, and he failed every single one. He was functioning right, but he just couldn't. His equilibrium wasn't functioning right, and I arrested him. That was my first arrest. It was pretty cool.
Damn.
Yeah, that was my worst, wildest, and craziest experience.
And then I asked you, like, people who are higher ranked than you, do they feel like entitled?
Yes, some do, some don't. Some understand that job. Some just hate the idea that you're little level
Mm-hmm.
junior Marine, and they don't want to be told what to do by a little junior Marine. And they're like 5 years or 8 years in the Marine Corps. Yeah, they don't care, but at the end of the day, they have no opinion what to do.
And what happens in that situation, like, when they're like, oh, I'm, like, higher ranked than you? Like, what do you do? What do you say?
Well, still having the mentality that you're still Marine and you still all wear the same uniform. We have to respect our elders, per se, because they're higher rank.
Mm-hmm.
Have verbal judo and, like, being courteous to them, not being rude in any way. Well, just being professional. Just being professional to the people you're dealing with. I'm not saying that you're not being professional with anybody else, but you're more tense in the way you speak.
Okay.
Because of who they possibly are and what kind of authority they might hold.
You never had like an argument with somebody higher?
No,
No?
if kind of, not really. The biggest argument I ever had was about some sunglasses that I had. They claimed to have in the Marine Corps. There's an order you can't wear sunglasses that have a mirror reflection, and some major. I remember that it was a major complaining that those glasses aren't authorized. I remember that actually. They came by twice telling me that, and I told them no, it's not. No, it's not. And I heard they spoke to my bosses about it, and I got called to the office, the main little center that we have in the MCRD. They see my glasses and like, look, they're not remarried. I'm like, yeah, they approve. Yeah, they're fine. You're fine. Yeah, I know I'm fine. They
Damn.
can't do anything.
They're just trying to mess with you just because you're
Yes.
military police.
Yes.
You get that a lot?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Every so often, not necessarily, but yeah.
Okay. And then I asked you, like, how's the difference between overseas camps or bases, Marine Corps bases, and stateside?
The people or the Marines are different in how close they are. The stateside Marines, they're more distant for sure because they don't really hang out with each other as much, aside from work and maybe a field day, whatever days that is, or their roommates. Rather than in Okinawa or overseas, they're more around each other in a more constant basis aside from work, because not only do they work with each other, but they live and mingle with each other in their rooms.
Mm-hmm.
And not saying they don't do that stateside, but it's like they had to. The only time they can leave at the time at least, the building, they have to leave with a buddy. So they're always with the Marine. So if not someone they worked with or their roommate, so they know someone from a different shop, different part of their company. They'd be really close. If that's not during the week, some people will have like little parties or get-togethers or just having like charades or something like that in the barracks, the little common areas that they had over there.
Yeah.
And there'd be like a big company party, I guess, at that
Okay.
point. So the Marines would be really close to each other because not a lot would go out. They wouldn't go out and explore. They just stay in the barracks.
Well, pretty much because like they're not familiar with the culture outside of the base, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And those that did, they'd have to get a buddy of a bigger buddy group, like a group of 4 to go out.
Oh yeah.
At the time, at least. Not so much anymore.
Uh-huh.
At the time when I was there, they had to get a buddy. So all of the Marines were closer to each other because they'd have to go out with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And not all of them wanted to go out.
Yeah.
So pretty much stayed in, hang out with each other, and then just pretty much have fun inside.
Yeah. 2 styles of people over there: homebodies or going out and exploring the island.
Okay. Is there any, say, like forest type of parks out there?
No, there was
No?
no forest. I mean, yeah, there's places to hike,
Yeah.
valleys to go down, but not like a East Coast where there's a whole lot of trees everywhere roaming around the forest. No, not necessarily. I mean, there is trees and stuff over there, but it's more like a jungle type of thing.
Oh, it's jungle?
Jungle, yeah.
Hmm.
You're not gonna really go through the jungle because there's poisonous snakes over there, like a hibus or I forget what the name of that snake was over there, but yeah, it's not really a good idea to go out on a trail because you never know what's in there. But
Dang.
there's plenty of hikes over there for sure.
Yeah? Okay. So, like, what's the everyday life of an MP? Like, what's, like, the most common thing that you guys do?
Within work or outside of work? Work. In the cop side or the field side?
Well, let's say cop side.
The cop
and then,
side?
Yeah.
You wake up and you have to be at the center at 5 a.m, ready for like a brief
Mm-hmm.
of what's gonna be coming up for the next day, and what the previous rotation had issues or what they dealt with. Just a small little rough summary of what happened, so we have an idea of what's coming in our direction or the possibility of what happened. And then as Marines, we make sure and verify we all have our stuff. And then we get assigned to what gates we're going to, or if we're going to go on the road. And then we get dispatched by like no later than 5:45. We should already be at the gate and already posted.
Okay.
And those other people that were there, we relieve them before
Mhm.
they can go home. Usually a night to duty or night to day. But and then after that, we just go in with the morning rush for rush hour for everyone coming in to be at
Everybody
work at
coming
8
in.
in the morning. And all the drill instructors, all the regular people just hurry up and go, scan the card. Just don't really look at all the license plate or anything that much because there's a big old traffic lined up down the bridge or
Oh,
whatever.
and you have to
What?
look at the license plates?
Sometimes you do, yeah. A lot of times because that's part of your job.
Why is that?
See if they're expired.
Oh, just to see if it expires.
to see if they're expired plates.
Do you give them a ticket or you just let them know like, hey?
I remember I always give them like a rough break. Not entirely immediately. Like if there was like 2 months out, I would give them a ticket. If it's 1 month, like I would notify them. But if it was 3 months, like expired tags out of 3 months, I'd like pull over. You're getting towed.
Damn.
You're gonna get towed. At that point, yeah, you've had three. You at that point they've had 5 months, I think, because you have 2 months. They tell you 2 months before your thing's owed.
Yeah.
So you had 5 months to pay for it. There's no excuse.
Mm-hmm.
So you're getting towed. That's my. At least that was my mentality.
Yeah. Was there a lot of people like you, or like there was people that didn't care?
There's a lot more people that didn't care.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that just didn't care.
Well, that's
There was
crazy.
another person that was I was trying to beat him. I remember, but he was just a lot more strict than I was. Like, and I was trying to be like someone they call a super cop, giving everybody cops,
Yeah.
giving everybody
Like
tickets.
the motorcycle cops, you go 1 mile over the limit, they stop you.
Yeah, yeah. In the way he
Shoot.
kind of did that, I think. I feel
Yeah.
like he did. Like he did every single little thing. He got a lot of work done. But not a lot of people were the same way. No, I think you got not a lot of people were just lazy, didn't do anything. You got people in the middle. You got people like what I tried to be is be constantly proactive and getting citations, getting all kinds of getting my nose into something.
Mm-hmm.
The idea of a good cop is a nosy cop.
Do you get like promoted if you have like a certain amount of citations?
No.
Doesn't really matter.
Nope.
Okay.
Just doing your job.
All right. So you guys know. And then once you head out to like the ending of your MP contract, like tell us a little bit more of how you went from MP to Motor T.
It's actually maintenance management officer.
Oh, your maintenance management?
Yeah,
Oh, my bad, guys.
Yeah. Figure that's what you were getting to when you said that how me learning the job of Motor T, but no, I'm not Motor T. Well, at the time, like I said earlier, the MP world was getting, half of it was getting disbanded. The field portion of the MPs were gonna be, well, like I said, disbanded. They're not gonna be anymore. They're gonna take it completely out. The Marine Corps is downsizing. They're getting a lot of units. Tanks were out, and a whole lot of others. So in my head at the time, that I was wanting to stay in, but not active duty. I was gonna go in the reserves. All the reserves had was field units. And I did not, and the Marine Corps wasn't telling the 58 world. It's the MOS code.
Okay.
What they were gonna do, what the future was, what the Marines gonna do, how they're gonna transition. They weren't saying anything, so I was like freaking out in my own head. I didn't want to get kicked out because a lot of people I heard were getting kicked out. So I decided to lat move. So I didn't get kicked out of the Marine Corps. Because I felt like if I stayed in MP, went into a field unit, and then they disbanded the Marines, I thought I was getting kicked out because my section of the military police was going to get disbanded.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't know what they were going to do. After I lat moved. It took me like 5-6 months to from the moment I spoke to the prior service recruiter to I get lat moved. It took me, and I remember I had to extend 3 months into the island. For that reason, because of the delays and where I wanted to be, because I'm from San Diego, I got to actually Las Vegas, but ended up lat moving. I actually forgot what I was going to say. Yeah, I forgot what I was saying.
Okay. Well, pretty much.
Shit.
So, what made you like not want to get kicked out? Like, why didn't you choose that route?
Oh yeah.
Do you actually love being in the Marine Corps?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to stay with Marines for sure.
Okay.
I didn't want to be active duty because I wanted to become a cop. Because that's the only reason why I joined the Marine Corps. I only joined the Marine Corps to be a cop. That's it. Like why'd you want to be a Marines? People would ask people like I want to explore. If they would ask me, I want to be a cop. Like I don't care about the Marine Corps. I want to be a cop. That's my goal. I just need the Marine Corps as a background. That's all I was using the Marine Corps.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to stay in the Marines, but I also didn't want to stay fully because I wanted to be a cop. So I went into the reserves. I did that transition because I didn't want to get kicked out. So I went to something I knew I had an idea of, which was maintenance management officer, because I had worked with them at some point when I went to Okinawa the first 6 months. They put me to some They make me work with Motor T for 6 months because they did that at the time. I had a representative for the company be in charge of their designated trucks because they had three companies: Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie. I was in Charlie. I was a representative for the trucks in the motor pool, so they sent me there for 6 months to make sure all their trucks are fine for the unit can go out without any problems. But I went with MMO because I knew how it ran and it was familiar to me. And I don't want to do a driver and I don't want to do a mechanic. So I wanted to do what they did, and that's why I went to them because it was familiar to me. So I went with them.
Mm-hmm. And then, are you still following the live to become a cop, or
No, actually, I ended up dropping it like a year and a half ago.
why is that?
After 2 years of trying, I didn't get any luck of any of the departments. Didn't work out for me.
Oh yeah, you actually tried?
I tried.
Oh man,
Multiple departments didn't want me. They just
Did you-
didn't like me.
did you try here?
I did. In Vegas, I did. Yeah, they didn't like me.
Why?
I don't know.
What the
they,
heck?
they said they don't give me an answer.
That's pretty crazy because I heard like they're really needing people.
Apparently not. That's how it was said. Apparently not. They didn't like me.
Oh
I'm
man,
fit and I can do anything, but whatever.
yeah.
They just didn't like my mentality. I guess I don't know. People.
Oh.
That's the way I've heard that those people. Some departments are picky. How people have. They're picky of how people have their mentality.
Yeah.
It's certain mentality they want, and they didn't see me in that way, so they did not like. They didn't choose me. But yeah, a year and a half, 2 years after 2 years, I switched to. They ended up going to school, and now I'm going to school for construction management.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And I heard you say like use your GI Bill.
Mm-hmm. Active duty gives us 2 versions for school. I chose the Post 9/11 GI Bill, and I'm using that right now. Yeah.
How much you get paid?
They give me. So I live in San Diego, so they gave me the BH over there. It's about $2,700 a month.
Damn.
For someone that doesn't have a job, well, I don't have a job. I survive off the money. I mean, for someone that doesn't have bills to pay, yeah, it's a lot of money.
27? Hell yeah.
But if someone were to have a house, that I wouldn't be enough.
And that pays only if you're in school. It ends right after you graduate.
Yes.
So you could get like a doctorate degree, or how does that work?
It only the GI Bill only gives you a certain amount of credits. They gave me, I believe it was 44 credits, if not 45, and my school only needs me for my bachelor's needs only 43.
Oh, okay.
So it would meet all the way practically every single one.
So the more time you spend active, the more credits you collect, or how?
No, it should be the same amount of credits for each military member, for the GI Bill at least.
That's pretty good though.
For active duty.
Yeah.
If those, yeah.
Yeah. So right now you're just doing reserves, and I mean, are you enjoying it? Do you like it?
Yeah, it's a learning experience even still to this day. I've always, from going into the active duty into the reserves, it was always having the idea like there was always the Marines that didn't really do much, or thought that they were, but they really were Marines because they call them Semper sometimes. But now that I'm in it, it's a whole different mentality for sure. There's more respect to them for sure because you're living 2 lives. Not only do you have to do the Marine Corps lifestyle, having to do all the fitness, having to do all the trainings, making sure your uniforms are up to date and everything like that, and then you also have to do the job that you're living off of and having a career off of. So and that depends all your time, and you have to do the Marine Corps at the same time. That's like you're living 2 lives in the practically exact same time, practically.
Yeah.
So reserves is hard. It's hard.
I've been hearing that a lot from active people.
Yeah, I think
Like,
personally.
Is it really though?
I mean,
or are you just saying it just because you're in
I'm just
reserves?
saying it because I can see it,
Uh-huh.
and I can't imagine because I don't have a job. I don't have a career yet. I'll experience after I graduate the bachelor's and I get an actual career and start working hard. I can see it being hard. I can't see it because you're living 2 lives. So I've seen that from other people who are serving right now in the reserves. They're retiring in the reserves. It's a hard life, and a lot of the higher ups, like staff and above, they're saying they don't do this for the paycheck. It's not the paycheck. They make a
Yeah.
lot more money, uh, a lot more money in their own job than being in the reserves. Like they don't
Yeah.
need this, but they're there for the Marines. They're there for the experience. They're there for what they were called to do.
Yeah.
It's more than just serving and making money.
I sure get paid more than I do in the Marine Corps, but just like you said, like I don't do it for the money. I don't do it for insurance either, cause I already have insurance. I just do it because one, I always wanted to do it, and two, it's like 1 week in a month. It's not that bad,
Mm-hmm.
but it's also like you get to meet people that you know who think like you, like they wear the same uniform as you, and then for 1 week in a month, you go out there and like do Marine Corps stuff. Sometimes you go in the field and then you spend time with them and you get to know them better and you just learn new stuff, you know. So it's not that bad. And then in the summer, you go for 2 weeks, you travel, and you just do more Marine Corps stuff. So like, am I ever gonna do this for like 20 years? I can't say because I just joined like 2 years ago. But you know, for now, I like it.
Mm.
I'm enjoying the time. Do you plan on doing it for longer?
I feel like I will. In the
Yeah.
beginning, I was the same. I just wanted to do 4 years and I'm out because my mentality was just I just need that as a background. I want to be a cop. And I
Mhm.
just wanted 4 years and done. But now
Things
I
change.
like the Marines, and if somehow the weirdest thing for me, I remember being a gate guard. I've always liked saluting officers, and that was a weird excuse, but I feel like one reason to stay in because I like saluting. Because you can't Marines can't do that outside in uniform without a cover.
Mhm.
Other branches do. Marines don't. They cannot. They will not. They don't. Some that do, they're just being weird. Whatever. I think it's weird, but whatever. They're not supposed to because they're not needed. They're not supposed to. Active duty or service members wearing a uniform and have a cover on or hat, they can salute officers. But I like that. I just like the idea of just that I'm serving. I don't. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do like the Marines and I do like wearing this uniform. So yeah, I feel like I would. If everything goes well, and of course you have to say God willing because you never know you can die.
Mhm.
So God willing, I will be doing this for 20 years.
Hell yeah, man. I like the motivation. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. There are some ups and downs to this, of course. But just like anything. But like overall, we'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
So I like to kind of ask you because I do this for Marine Corps people, for like people who are going to boot camp.
Okay.
So what advice would you give somebody who is thinking about joining the Marine Corps or who is about to join boot camp? What advice would you give them?
For Marines specifically or in general?
Well, let's start with people who are trying to join the Marine Corps.
Okay. Well, for people who are trying to join the Marine Corps, I haven't spoken to a recruiter. Do some research before you actually speak to a recruiter first. Know what you want. It's the end of the day, it's about what you want. As soon as you start speaking to a recruiter, it's just a number, and you're just a slot for them to fill.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably the best idea before you speak to a recruiter. Know what kind of jobs they have, what the kind they provide. Speak to a lot of Marines, so you can have an idea what you want to do. That way you don't go in there blindsided. And then for people who are already past that point in the DEP program,
Mm-hmm.
waiting to become a Marine, just work out, pretty much. Work out so you don't have to stress so much in boot camp.
All right.
That's pretty much what it is. And know all the little materials that recruiters tell you to learn, like your general orders and stuff, and your ranks. It plays a lot, especially in boot camp, because a lot of people go in there not knowing. It's hard. Personally, I did suffer in the knowledge portion. I was not really good at testing. I never have been good. I barely passed high school, but I passed.
Damn.
So that was my struggle. I did go in there knowing the ranks. I did go in knowing there the general orders. So that was a plus side for me. I thank God that I already knew that stuff. But the rest, it was hard. The more knowledge you can gain before you go into boot camp is the best. If you can work out, you're fine. That's it. You
Yeah.
can work out. You can take a yelling. It's a mind game.
It's a mind game.
It's just don't let them break you. It's just a mind game. They're supposed to yell you. They're supposed to yell you more
Well,
than 3 times. It's a game. It's a game.
they are gonna break you. Like, I don't care how hard you think you are. They're gonna break you because they're good at that. Like, they're professionals. Like, they're gonna find a way to break you. They're supposed to. So if you start crying, like, I guess, but it's actually pretty weird because like boot camp, you get to see grown ass men cry. I don't know if you did.
I did.
So, and like, damn, like it's crazy. It's a crazy experience, guys. And do you have anything else to add?
Yeah, just give it your best. You put in what you put out of it. So, I said that wrong. You get what you put out of it, for sure.
Okay.
If you go in there like you can survive, like good luck. But if you go in there prepped, knowing what you're gonna get into, especially the physical side and what the yelling side, asking a lot of Marines before you actually go in, you'll be pretty good mentally for the duration of the boot camp. And so there's a lot of unknowns for sure, and the people, Marines and the recruits will experience that at that point. But it's taking it day at a time, and willing to get better. Yeah, it's pretty much actually, yeah.
Hell yeah, guys. So do you guys have it, Mr. Sergeant Gurrola? Do you have any social media people can follow you in? Ask us some questions.
I can, but I don't want to.
Okay. So there you guys have it, guys. You guys can comment below in the comment section if you guys have any questions for me or for him. You guys could ask me and I'll ask him if like anything. And